everybody, it's Kira and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing my November wrap up for you guys. I didn't read as many books this month as I did last month, but that's okay. They were decent books. I only read 2 books for the first time, and then I reread 3 books. It was just a weird month for me as far as like mentally, school-wise. It was just kind of a weird month in November, but it is now December, so it's the last month of the year, and I'm very excited about, I don't know, am I excited about the end of the year? I'm not really sure. I'm not ready for 2020, that is certain, but anyways, we'll get into the books now. So the first book I finished in the month of November is The Blood of Flowers by, I'm gonna say this so wrong, Anita Amirzvani. It's a historical fiction about a girl in, 17th century Persia, and her father dies, and so her and her mother are taken in by some extended family members, and it's about her learning how to make rugs and having an arranged marriage. It's very, very sad. It was hard to read this because it was like kind of depressing at some points, as she like tries to make friends with the people around her, but knowing that she's in like this very precarious like financial situation where she like can't help provide for her mother, and they're just living on like the charity of their extended family. But it was very well written, but I probably will not be rereading this. I don't know, it was like an okay-ish book. It was definitely a downer at some points, but it was also really cool to see her like pull through all of her struggles. I very, like, in the beginning it says like anyone who liked 1,000 Splendid Suns would really like this, and that is on my list. So it's just like, I've not been really in the mood for historical fiction, but I kind of forced myself to read this, which I think was part of the reason that I didn't enjoy it as much as I had hoped I would. Next up, I read Supernova by Cass Morgan. This is the sequel to Light Years. Just blanked on the name again. And this is it's a sci-fi book about 5 teenagers who are going to a training academy in space. It was really hard to jump right back into this because it jumps right back in. It just throws you back into the action of things that happened right after the end of the last book, which was good because the first book ends on a cliffhanger, so it was nice in a way to just jump back in. But also you're following 5 different characters, and so it was hard for me to like remember who was who and who had what secrets and who was in relationships with who and what everything was happening there. And it just moves so fast. Like Cass Morgan's books, well, both Light Years and Supernova were both just very fast paced. Like a lot happens, and it seems like it takes like a decent amount of time, but it just like everything happened really, really fast. But it was quite an enjoyable read. I read this at the beginning of the month, so I don't remember. It had like a satisfying conclusion, I think. Yes, it did. It did have a satisfying conclusion. I don't know if there will be any more in this series, but it was enough that I would be satisfied if there aren't any more, but if there are, that would be cool too. So it was an enjoyable, just fun YA sci-fi read. And then we started the One Readathon to rule them all, round 3, so I will be having a complete wrap up for that, so I'm just going to breeze through the next 2 books really quickly. But I read Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, doing my Harry Potter reread. There was a lot of stuff that I'd forgotten as far as like the intricacies of the plot revolving around like Barty Crouch Jr. and that whole thing. There's a lot more in the book than there is in the movie, but as I was thinking about it, because I know the movie a lot better than I know the book, the movie is actually like a pretty decent adaptation of the book for how much stuff that happens in this book. The movie actually does a pretty good job of adapting the important things from this book. So it was really fun to just dive into the world of Harry Potter, as it always is. And yeah, the ending of this is so frustrating, which leads into the 5th book. Just why? But I'm interested to see how my reread of the 5th book is going to go, because when I first read it years ago, I got really annoyed with Harry just like being so moody and just like complaining all the time, but like as time has gone by, I'm realizing that like he's obviously experiencing PTSD and everybody hates him, and even Dumbledore like tries to distance himself from him. So like I'm interested to see how my reading experience is going to be with the 5th book as I continue my read. But yeah, Goblet of Fire is just super fun. And then I also reread Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. I'm rereading this trilogy because I read it at the very beginning of the year, and so don't remember a ton of what happens in these books. And with the casting of the TV show, I'm just so excited to see these books come to life in the Netflix show. So it was really fun like reading this, and I may have said this before, but for me, like having even a drawing or like an actor and being able to see them as a character is really helpful for me when picturing things that happen in books. When I'm reading, I don't really have like a specific image of what a character looks like. I don't know why, but I struggle with that, and so having like a drawing of a character or having an actor portray a character allows me to then see them doing those things that are like explained in the book. So it was really fun rereading this now and having the actors for the TV show in my head and like picturing them and how everything would look with them. So it was really fun. And I'm very excited to see how this show is going to go because I think it'll be amazing. And then the last book that I finished was my reread of The Mark of Athena by Rick Riordan. I read this as an audiobook, continuing my reread of these books as audiobooks to fall asleep to. I love Mark of Athena, and it's the last one that I like really remember things that happened in them. The last 2 books in the series, I don't remember very much of what happens, so rereading them is always a fun time. The ending of this book breaks my heart, but it's also really good at the same time. And it's just fun to see like the 7 really become a thing in the Mark of Athena, because obviously in the first 2 books you have both groups, like the Greek and the Roman groups, kind of on their own and they're developing separately, but then in Mark of Athena you get them all like actually coming together, going on their quest. And so it's really fun to just see their dynamics and how everything changes and stuff. So it's really fun to reread. And then my one book that I can haul for this month is Tears of Frost by Bree Barton. I won this in a giveaway from TJ Benton on Twitter, so I will link his profile in the description below, so thank you very much. This is the sequel to Heart of Thorns, so I don't know anything that happens in this book because I haven't read Heart of Thorns yet, but this is just a really pretty cover and I'm very excited to get around to reading it. So yeah, if you want to see what I got for Black Friday shopping, I got a couple of movies as well as some clothes, including this shirt actually. But you can see those in my vlog for the one readathon, which will hopefully be up soon. So yeah, that's it for this video. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you want to follow me on social media, all my links will be in the description as always. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!